Hello everyone. Hope you're well. This is what I'm wearing. I have a hoodie on. I'm in all gray, and I was gonna put myself together before I did this, but then I was like, why? This is all about what's going on, and I just feel like if we're all feeling the same thing, why even fake it? Why even act like I'm feeling any more alive than I am? Which is good because it's gonna be in alignment with what we're talking about today. So it works out, but if you don't know me, my name is Jasmine Kylene. If you're joining me live or if you're watching this later on my YouTube, this is every Tuesday I kind of give a little astro tea, a little update on what's going on with the stars and how it's affecting us and how we can work alongside it. So obviously, if you were just a human being having a human experience right now, then you know that there's a lot going on astrologically. Even if you aren't aware of exactly what's going on, just intuitively, I'm sure you can feel that there's a shift in energy. There's a lot rumbling under the surface. So I'm going to talk a little bit about why that is and what's going on, because first and foremost, today, Tuesday, which is October 13th, yes, it's literally the first day of Mercury retrograde, which is just like, I feel like we have so much going on astrologically, and we have so much going on this year that it's like, did we need a Mercury retrograde? Did we need it? But we did, right? Because everything that happens astrologically happens for a reason. It's for us. It's for our own best good in order to help us evolve and be the best possible versions of ourselves. So we're just going to keep that mindset as much as we can. But this retrograde is a unique one. It starts today, October 13th, and it actually lasts until November 3rd, which for those of you who are tuning in from America, from the United States, that is the day of our elections, which, mind you, just to give a quick political side note, the fact that this specific election is so reliant on mail-in voting, and Mercury retrograde typically represents, fallacies within machinery and technological failures and recounting and all that kind of stuff. So it's a cosmic joke, really, that this is when it's decided to play its game. But it all is playing a role in the divine scheme of things, so we're just going to keep that mindset. But yes, so this retrograde, Mercury is stationed, it's not stationed, it's retrograde, but it's in the sign of Scorpio. So it's going to be a really, let's break it down. So first of all, Mercury retrogrades, typically when these happen, we experience a lot of miscommunications, a lot of failures technologically, a lot of electronics go haywire, a lot of delayed plans, delayed flights, travel plans. It's not typically recommended that you make any permanent decisions or you sign any contracts during this time. But with so much going on with the planet of Mars that is also in retrograde, and it's aspecting Saturn as well in a way where there's another layer of aggression that's going on right now. Aside from the fact that we aren't really understanding each other communicatively, is that a word? We're not understanding, we're miscommunicating a lot right now. On a personal level, on a collective level as well. Obviously you can see how it's playing out media-wise and politically, but with this extra layer of tension, we're really going to see a lot of aggressive banter. We're going to see a lot of triggers as far as like just people, there's an irritation going on. The only word that I can find to describe it is irritation. So maybe there's a lot of things physically breaking. Maybe you're getting a lot of petty arguments that aren't really making sense. Maybe a lot of things are just causing you to feel irritable in times where you maybe would have been more at ease with being patient. You're just getting triggered in a lot of different ways, and it just has to do with so much rumbling under the surface. So right now, what I would really, really recommend, the best way to navigate this Mercury retrograde, and I want you to look me in my eyes when I say this, okay? Find what peace looks like for you and root yourself in it. If peace looks like breakfast on your balcony, spend as much time eating breakfast on your balcony. If peace looks like, I look like E.T., but honestly mood. If peace looks like yoga, if it looks like reading, if it looks like going for walks, if it looks like talking to a friend, whatever peace looks like for you, make sure that you honor it and you show up for it and you keep it consistent. Find what peace looks like for you right now and just root yourself in it. Do your best to step back as much as you possibly can. Please, I know that a lot of us are still quarantined right now, rightfully so. So perhaps us being social only looks like social media these days. But if you can, please just spend as little time as you can connected digitally, and just find your way and what real life is right now, and root yourself in that. Truthfully, that's the only, that's the best and most solid advice that I could give right now to navigate this this retrograde. Because truthfully, when we do find ourselves in social situations or talking or engaging with the world right now, there is a high chance that you're gonna experience a lot of triggers, a lot of irritations that make you feel like you want to retaliate, and it's normal. And what I will say is that if any wounds right now do come up because they are triggered, look at them, look into them. It's in the sign of Scorpio, which rules our shadows, which rules our deep and inner wounds. So if there are things that are getting easily triggered, maybe take the time to say, why is this triggering me? Like, why is this still something that's so sensitive to me? What can I do right now to honor this this wound and tend to it? So usually when I do these, I have journaling prompts, so that's incorporated in one of the journaling prompts that I will give. But before I get to that, I'm gonna also note that this week, I don't have the date written down, but I believe it's on Friday, which would be, I'm really bad with numbers, is that the 17th? The Friday after the 13th of October is our super new moon in Libra. So it's a super new moon. We say that when it's at closest proximity to the Earth and Moon, but it's not a super full moon, which we had recently. It's super new moon, and typically new moons are fertile soil for manifestation. But intuitively, guys, I'm not feeling like this is a time to really dedicate yourself to planting seeds. Here's why. And I also pulled the Empress card today, which I just want to note, and it ties into and in this deck it's called fertility, but I say that to say this is a time, if you're going to use the new moon energy to manifest, what I will say is this is a time to know what it is that you're manifesting and don't do any work towards it. And that's so counterintuitive to what I usually say, because I'm usually like, listen, everything is you're the co-creator of your life, so while you need to set the intention and trust that the universe is supporting you, you need to do what you need to do to meet it halfway, and that is true, and that'll always be true, it'll always ring true. However, right now it's a time of just observing what your vision is, observing that you are on the path towards it, but not exerting any extra energy to manifest it, guys. We've been doing so much seed planting, so much reaping of rewards, that sometimes the season is called to just sit for a second, know, and that's what the Empress truly represents. The Empress doesn't go out of her way to build this land for herself and then say, this is my land. The Empress sits in her throne and knows that her kingdom is waiting for her. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's nice to embody that yin energy of knowing that what is yours will always be yours. Your vision is there, and sometimes honor the seasons. Honor the seasons. We have our times when it's time to chase. We have our times when it's time to release. And right now, I just don't intuitively feel like it's the time to be building bricks. It just feels like the time to know that what is yours, and to just kind of rest in some stillness. Reflect if you'd like to, get clear on whatever it is that you want to get clear on, but know that the universe is not asking or requiring any extra effort of you. My ears are ringing right now, so I know that I'm channeling, which is just so crazy because I'm just these emotions have just been, it's been a crazy time, but I'm honoring it, honestly, because everything is serving us. And I think when we only want to experience a time of fluidity and stillness and happiness, we're cheating ourselves of what the human experience is. Every emotion, every season serves us. And it's weird to vilify emotions like anxiety or emotions like lethargy. It's weird to vilify that because it's just part of the cycle of things, We're in fall, guys. So with all of that being said, here are the journaling prompts I think could best help you sort of deconstruct and see how you're feeling in this time of retrogrades and new moons and all of that jazz. So the first journaling prompts that I have, if I can just read it, it says, what does me at my most peaceful look like? So like I said, guys, I really am calling you guys to just root yourself in peace and whatever that looks like for you. For me, peace honestly has been looking like watching this like podcast on YouTube. It's called Frenemies Podcast. It's with Trisha Paytas and Ethan Klein, and it has nothing to do with anything spiritual, with anything self-development, with anything wellness. It's just completely like, it's like pop culture-y, and it doesn't take any extra thinking to pay attention to, and that's what peace looks like to me right now. Genuinely, it just looks like disconnecting and knowing that because my life is so deeply enthralled in working with the stars and the cosmos, and I love it. I love that this is my life. I've created this life for myself, but also it's like sometimes peace looks like shutting that off and just kind of laying and letting myself be entertained. So whatever that is for you, honor that a little bit deeper this next 2 months, I would say. December is looking great, though. I'm very excited to talk about how I feel about December, but that'll come later. The next prompt is there anything hindering the manifestations that I'm calling in? So while I don't think that now is a time to get so like, let's do some manifesting work, it is a good time to see, well, I have this vision for myself. I know that it's mine. Is there anything in my path right now that I am allowing to be in my path that is stopping me or serving as an obstacle for that to come into fruition? Because honestly, if there are any wounds that are getting triggered right now with so much Scorpio energy, then it is probably within your best interest that you pay attention to those triggers, because they could be serving as energy blockages, right? Energetic blocks. There's my mom talking, if you can hear that in the background. And the last prompt that I have is, what shadow aspects are asking for my attention? So that's basically what I just mentioned, which is just like, pay attention to what is getting triggered. Know that you're getting triggered, and so try to respond with as much peace and love and understanding as you can. But also take the time to look at what is getting triggered, why it's getting triggered. For me, and just being completely vulnerable, because I think that's the power of being a human, is just being vulnerable and being able to connect. My relationship with eating has been super triggered lately, and I realize that it's not something to sweep under the rug or to allow, because it is going to serve as an obstacle of me becoming my best version of myself if I don't address it. So I'm addressing it, and I'm glad that it was triggered recently, because it's allowed me to realize that it's something that I need to pay attention to. So with that being said, I'm sending you all my love and all of my strength. You are deserving of a beautiful life, and you're deserving of being the best version of yourself, and you're capable of being the best version of yourself if you weather these storms, which are not storms, it's all to serve us. But weather them by honoring whatever the energy is. If the energy is calling for you to just put on a hoodie and like sit on your floor and just like not exist for a second, then do that. But I love you very much, and I should plug. Okay, so if you're watching this on Instagram, thank you. If you're watching this live, you can follow me at Jasmine Kylene. I also sell color healing shirts, so you can check out my bio. And if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to subscribe. Okay, thanks. Love you. Bye.